What is happening, guys? Matt Deegz here with another video. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Today, I'm breaking down my S tier, fully prestiged heavy setup in Space Marine 2. And yes, in my opinion, heavy is absolutely one of the best classes when used correctly. I'm going to walk you through my full loadout, the weapons I trust, the perks I use, and how I leverage prestige perks to squeeze every last drop of power out of this beast. Quick primer if you're new to Heavy. Heavy excels at locking down lanes and shredding hordes while staying tanky. The class ability, which is the Iron Halo, throws up a frontal shield that soaks incoming fire and keeps you alive while you're mowing targets. It's perfect for holding angles, pushing objectives, and anchoring your team when things get spicy. With that being said, guys, stick around and enjoy the video. All right, guys, so to start off, I'm going to go over my perk tree here. Now, again, this is my perk layout. This is the way I like to play heavy. Again, I totally understand that everybody's different, but for me, I am utilizing as much equipment and ammo recharge as I possibly can to stay as tanky as I can. The whole point of a heavy is to support fire, is to absolute mow down enemies, shred enemies. You are there to lay down the law, to absolutely annihilate the horde. So you need, at least in my opinion, as much ammo and equipment, grenades, as you possibly can. So this is the way I lay out my perk tree. To start off in my core perks, I chose the multi-kill. Now, you'll see later on, I use the multi-melta, so this one worked great with me. If you don't use the multi-melta, I would probably suggest this one right here, auxiliary ammunition. This is also a very good one. However, I chose the multi-kill. Killing 5 or more enemies with one shot from a multi-melta restores ammo by 1. This happens very often, whether you're playing operations, on absolute or lethal, or on siege mode. When enemies spawn, you'll get a bunch of Minoris. This is when this multi-kill class perk really comes in handy. You just pop that multi-melta off, the spray gets everybody, and boom, you got an ammo right back. So it's a fantastic perk if you use the multi-melta. Again, if you don't, I would probably suggest this one right here. Continuing on for my core perks, I have Fortitude. So it's just a blanket increase in health. So health increases by 30%. I will take that health increase every day of the week. The other two perks, there's nothing wrong with them, but for me, I chose this one right here, Fortitude. Love the health increase. If you're using a plasma type weapon, I do use the my plasma pistol as a secondary, but if it's also your main, you can use this, the thermal boost. So when a ranged weapon is 50% overheated, or you have less than 50% ammo in magazine, range damage increased by 50%. This is also a great perk to have, but for me, I chose this blanket for health increase, 30%, and again, Fortitude. Going on to my third core perk is right here, versatility. So after switching weapons, your secondary weapon does 20% more damage. The effect lasts until reloading or switching back to your primary weapon. So I oftentimes switch, as you do with the multi-melta. It only has so much range, so you kind of have to go into your secondary weapon, which for me is the plasma pistol. You have to do that quite often, so especially if you're facing a ranged or flying enemy, you got to pop that plasma pistol out. Boom, you get 20% more damage. So I'll take that any day of the week as well. Moving on to my team perk, I have additional supplies. Now this is now I'm moving into a little more of my reasoning behind my perk. So additional supplies, ammo capacity for all squad members' primary weapons increased by 25%. So again, the multi-melta doesn't have a lot of ammo to begin with. So this is a great one to have. It increases that capacity, so you're able to start off with a lot more. And you really feel the difference, especially in siege mode. You don't have to keep going back for more ammo. So this is a really good perk to have for the team, and it also helps everybody else as well. Moving on to gear perks. This one is fantastic, guys. Consecutive execution. So killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charge. The cooldown is 90 seconds, but it's a fantastic perk to have, especially if you don't have the tactical on your team that has the secure stockpile. This is a great one to have. Again, if you haven't watched my siege mode tips, I love pairing, perks like consecutive execution or secured stockpile with the Melta bomb. Fantastic combination. You just have unlimited nukes in your pocket, and it's absolutely nuts. Crack grenades are great as well. Whatever grenades, whatever equipment you choose, you will have a restoration of your equipment every 7 enemies you kill. With the multi-melta, it's very easy to get 7 enemies in rapid succession. But again, with many other weapons, you can execute this as well. So this is not a tough one to perform. So consecutive execution as my first gear perk. Second gear perk, guys, I chose Obdurate Bastion. What a name. Iron Halo's durability increases by 20%. So I prefer, now in this tree here, you have durability increase, you have Iron Halo recharge 20% faster, but its durability is reduced. And then you have this one here, Iron Halo loses energy 20% more slowly. For me, I chose this one, because I play a lot of Absolute or I play a lot of hard difficulty siege mode. So the projectiles being thrown at me, if you can say projectiles, whether they're bullets or, the spear, whatever it is, they're pretty devastating. So I need to increase that durability versus, a quicker recharge versus a losing energy. So for me, I chose this one right here. What a name, though. Wow. As for my last third gear perk, I have Brute Force. So when Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. Again, a blanket increase in damage. Again, as a heavy, you're mostly doing range damage. So for me, I don't play heavy in terms of, I don't use heavies melee very often. So there are certain perks here that really benefit. I believe it's this one right here. No, there are certain perks that really benefit melee damage, like enhanced force. To be honest, guys, I mean, look, you can definitely throw a few melee hits and use your stomp, but for me, I don't utilize it often. So for me, choosing melee supporting perks was just a waste of a perk. For me, again, I really utilize melee's ranged and, in my opinion, what melee is made for, which is ranged weaponry. So for me, I chose more ranged weapons, as I say it again. So for me, Brute Force, when Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage is going to be 50%. All right, sorry. You can drink every time I say range. You'll be drunk in 5 seconds. Sorry. Moving on to my signature perk here, guys, Conversion Field. So when Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 20 meters regenerate their ability charge by 50% faster. So fantastic perk to have. Again, whether in siege mode or operations, when you have this perk and you pop that Iron Halo on, whether you're with a bulwark, whether you're with somebody that can benefit the whole team, like a tactical with their Auspex scan and the bulwark with their banner, this might come in handy. That 50% increase, guys, could make or break a whole game. That's a bulwark placing that banner down to res somebody. That's a tactical placing the Auspex scan to take down that neural thrope faster. So very, very good signature perk, Conversion Field. The other 2 perks are not bad, but for me, I just found this one was hands down the best one in the signature perk tree. All right, guys, moving on to the prestige perks. Now, Heavy's prestige perks, in my opinion, are not the best. They're not terrible, but they're not fantastic. I mean, To be honest, if the prestige perks were S tier as well, heavy would be everyone's class. I've been playing the hell out of heavy, and honestly, the Iron Halo component to heavy is insane. When I go back to, let's say, a tactical or an assault or whatever, even a vanguard, I find that I play a little more reckless because I'm so used to having that Iron Halo as a heavy and just sitting there protected, popping off my multi-melta. So it's a fantastic class. So again, if prestige perks were S tier, like all the other perks, I would say this would be extremely overpowered. So the fact that they are a little under S tier, at least in my opinion, probably balances things out. So let's get started, guys. My first one is auxiliary reload. Melee kills of extremist level or higher enemies restore your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine. Now, you might be thinking, well, Matt Deegz, you just said that you don't use melee. Well, this also accounts for executions with your hands. So which people do all the time, whether you're heavy or bulwark or sniper, happens all the time. So this is a great one to have. Again, pairs well with this guy here, multi-kill, this one here, and this perk here, consecutive execution. You just feel like you have unlimited ammo. And especially in siege mode, in hard difficulty, when you got to be saving those credits for something way more important, like a Astartes reinforcements. Not that ammo's not important, but Voltus. This one really comes in handy. You feel like you never run out of ammo. I promise you guys, you gotta try this out, okay? Try this setup out. Moving on to my second prestige perk is Indomitable Spirit. So while performing a gun strike, you do not lose control while taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. A lot of classes have this. I always put it on when a class has it. I just find that if I don't, when I perform those gun strikes, I always get obliterated and I always get knocked back, especially those higher waves in siege mode. This one really comes in handy. Third prestige perk, guys, is Duelist. So perfect parry and perfect block windows increase by 25%. Gives you a little more time. Yes, if you're an amazing player and you don't need that 25% window increase, go for another prestige perk. But for me, not that I'm bad, not that I'm not the greatest, but I'm not bad. But for me, I like that perfect parry and perfect block window increase by 25%. For me, it helps, and I'll take it any day. Plus, the other perks are not that great, so I took this. This is kind of like I'll just take it for whatever, right? Because the other prestige perks are not great, in my opinion. Fourth one here, guys, Conviction, rounding out my prestige perks. So when your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. Now, again, like I said, guys, these two are great, but these two are like this one right here. How often is your your armor fully depleted? Whether you have a bulwark on your team, restoring armor every 30 seconds, you get armor back very often. So this one's whatever. But the other prestige perks, guys, I'm not a fan of. We can look at them here. We can look at the ones that I did not choose. So this one here, Hone Precision. So equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 25%. So for me, using the multi-melta, this was obviously I could not choose this. I want more maximum. I want more spread to hit more people per shot, right? So for me, I did not use that. This one here, Exponential Force. Now you can see melee damage increased by 100%. You pair that one here with melee damage by 30%. Yeah, it's 130% increase. That's insane. But for me, guys, I don't use melee. I paired those two together. This isn't the first time. This isn't my first prestige perk setup for heavy. I reset it and I took that one off. I did have enhanced force with this one here, exponential force, and for me, I did not notice a difference. Maybe there's a slight difference, but it didn't impact me enough to keep it. So for me, guys, this is my prestige perk layout, and this is my full heavy perk layout. Feel free to copy it. Would love to know what you guys think. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just the way I play, and it also pairs with my weapons, so which you'll see in a second. If you use other weapons or like to play heavy different, let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear it because I love this class, so would love to hear other setups that work for you. Okay, guys, now moving on to my weaponry. Now, I really fell in love with the multi-melta. Again, as you see in my other videos, I like to use, like for Vanguard, I use the Melta rifle. For tactical, I use the Melta rifle. So as you can see, guys, I mean, for this, I use the plasma, right? But for heavy, guys, I love the multi-melta. And I'm going to go into it and show you a few different perks that you can add on in the perk tree to really make it faster in terms of its fire rates, because it does start off, the base is very slow. Okay, so let's get into it, okay? So this is the multi-melta. This is my main primary weapon. I use this one here, the top right, so the Aphelion Liberation Alpha. The reason I chose that, okay, there's a specific reason, all right? It's this guy right here. It's the magazine capacity. I'm going for maximum ammo, okay? This one is good as well. You lose the ammo, but this one's really good because the range is quite high. However, there are specific perks that you can get in the perk tree that will increase that range. So let's get into it. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on each perk, but I'm just going to go over it quick. So you'll see right here, guys, I have increased capacity. So the maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increased by 20%. I have elite restoration. I have heavy fire. Okay, so while in heavy stance, the fire rate increases by 15%. This one is very important, guys, if you're going to use the multi-melta, or else the rate of fire is very slow. Perpetual range, effective range increased by 1 meter. So this is huge. I got a few range increasing perks here. So this one is a must if using the alpha, okay? Then I have another one here, perpetual range as well, another 1 meter. And then this one right here, executioner's range. After a finisher, effective range increases by 3 meters for 5 seconds, okay? Now, if you're in siege mode, if you're in, absolute, even lethal, you're getting executions very often, okay? So this one's a good perk to have. We have trick shot. We have heavy might. Heavy might as well. Another heavy might. Then we got some relic perks here, death strike, and we have increased capacity. So you can see, guys, again here, maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increased by 20%. So a lot of ammo, guys. You will never run out of ammo. I'm telling you, it's insane. So definitely worth a try with this perk tree, okay? Moving on to the secondary weapon, as you can see, I use the plasma pistol. I use the top left here, the Gathalamor Crusade. And then in terms of the perk tree, I'll just let it sit here. You can definitely follow it, but it's plasma collection, rapid cooling, plasma collection, blast radius, perpetual velocity, plasma collection, efficient range, charge, sorry. And then I have perfect cooling and charged cooling. I won't go too much into this, guys. I go into it on all my other S tier prestige class videos, so I won't spend too much time on that. But guys, this is my S tier, at least in my opinion, my S tier heavy class setup. If you use multi-melta, this class setup is gonna really excel for you. If you don't and you choose to use the other weapons like the heavy plasma incinerator, I would recommend changing out a few perks. You can definitely switch this perk out for this one, and there are a few other ones. I won't go into too much detail, but there are a few other ones. But for me, I use the multi-melta and I absolutely love it. It absolutely shreds enemies, unlimited ammo, and near unlimited equipment recharge, especially if you're paired with secure stockpile tactical. So anyways, guys, appreciate you watching. All the love and support lately is great. Whether you like this build or not, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate any and all feedback. And again, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.